Ida Gard is with me. She's playing in Nürnberg in Hirsch tonight. She's from Denmark, and we are very lucky to have her. Hello and welcome. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Maybe for the viewers who might not know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and who is Ida Gard?
Yes, I come from a very small town in Hadsund. It's called Hadsund. 5,000 people. Not much music, but enough to get me started. I've been playing music ever since I can remember, and so far I've released 2 albums, and I'm kind of some people have called me die Indie-Königin. I don't know if that's true, but I've definitely done things in a way that where I could stick to what I felt was right and not necessarily listen to all the clever people that are around me. I'm thinking maybe to start listening a little bit more to the clever people. But we'll see about that.
Okay, is there or is it possible to characterize your music in a few sentences?
Yeah, I think it's very lyric driven, pop with a lot of influences. Singer-songwriter is not a genre, but it's very much the songs that are the focus. And I think some people say that it sounds a bit blues or a bit rock or a bit. I don't know.
A little bit of everything in there, and okay. I mean, you've not just started doing music like a few months ago. You're quite in the business for some time now. Was there a point in your life, or when was the point in your life where you said, "Okay, I could do music for a living, or not in the first place, but in my life, music"?
I think I had known for a while that I wanted to do music for a living, but it was in 2008 I sent a song into a radio contest, and the song ended up winning the entire thing, and it was definitely a turning point where things became very real. Instead of just dreaming of being a musician, all of a sudden I played shows where people were standing in line to get in, and it was pretty much out of nowhere. And I think at that point I felt like that was definitely, now there's no way back. Now I have to move forward, because what I've been dreaming of is actually happening. So that was yeah.
Okay. Was there ever a point where you were deciding or thinking about maybe singing in Danish, since you are from Denmark, but now you're singing in English? Was that ever a thing, or did you say it's English right away?
Well, actually, I haven't considered singing in Danish that much, but I'm beginning to think that maybe at some point it could be fun to do it. The thing with singing in Danish is that it's only Danish people who understand it. So, and Denmark is a very small country, and so I wouldn't want to limit myself to only having a Danish audience. But who knows? Maybe I can do one Danish song or maybe one Danish album at some point. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I love the Danish language, and I actually, on the last tour, we did one little part of a song in Danish, and it worked really well. Also, I don't know, people didn't understand it, of course, but I think Danish, of course, it's a big part of me, that language, yeah.
So maybe in the future there will be some songs, or yeah, okay. I read that for your last, or for your the album which is out right now, the Doors album, you to start the whole process on developing the album and stuff, you moved to New York. Why New York?
I think I'm a bit superstitious, and I had also sent another song to another contest and won that contest as well, and that was in New York. And I kind of felt like it was the universe telling me, come here. And so I was able to go for 3 months, and I thought, okay, then that's what I'm going to do. And I rented a room in an apartment, and I was writing songs. and it was great. It was an adventure, but in many ways I think it could have been anywhere. I wasn't really I wasn't writing about New York, or I thought maybe I would meet some people, and I did meet some people, but the main thing was actually just being away from home and being alone in this bubble of creating new stuff.
So something to broaden the horizon a little bit.
Exactly, yeah.
And I read something, a quite funny story. Is that true that you had some mice in the apartment and you named one of the mice after Hugh Jackman?
Yes, that's true. There was one. I think at first it was a bit scared of me, so it would run away every time I saw it. But then, the longer it was around, it started like running around inside my room also, and on the ceiling. The room was kind of a box in a big room, and I could hear the mice running around. It was kind of creepy. So I think the Hugh Jackman thing was to make him less frightening.
Yeah, maybe Hugh Jackman is so maybe to think of as the one who's protecting you.
Well, actually, this is embarrassing, but right now I can't picture Hugh Jackman. It was just the name that came to mind was that name. So I don't know if he's scary or funny or whatever. He's famous. I know that.
Okay. Back to the album Doors. There is a song on it called Germany. Why Germany, and why is there no song called Denmark on it?
The Germany song is about it's about how I constantly feel. Actually, there are a few songs on the Doors album that are split in two, and this song is because I'm so sometimes frustrated, because it's like half of me wants to constantly be moving forward and is outgoing and wild, and then there's this other part that really wants to be alone and want to write and want to be, just quiet. And this song is about how it's difficult to pay as much attention to the quiet as to the loud, even though the quiet is just as important as the loud. And the reason for the Germany thing was because, I don't know, I was, when I was 14 or something, my mom and my brother and we went to Germany on this trip where we were supposed to go just see where we would go. Nothing planned, nothing, And it turned out to be a great trip in many ways, but it was only like 4 or 5 days long, because we were constantly fighting and we didn't know where to go. And it was just like this amazing trip that was also a total failure in a way. And I think that double thing mixed with the brain being split in two, and then also Germany being split in two at some point. I think it just added up to Germany.
Okay. There you have a new album coming up, and what can we expect from your new album? And did you move to another city in order to work on it?
I didn't move this time, but actually the whole album is taking place in a very small city called Pajala in the very north of Sweden, because all the songs are based on a book that takes place here. And this is the first time where I've been working inside a frame that was set to begin with. So I've been kind of working with this book and saying, okay, I need this song, I need to write this song, So it's been more of a focused process, I think. And a lot of things have been like making sense from the beginning. Like, how am I going to produce this album? Oh, I know, because I know the stories and I know the whole setting of the album. So that's been really exciting, actually, to instead of working like the first 2 albums, I've been writing on experiences I have had. And when you have to express yourself all the time, it gets really difficult to, like you asked me to describe myself in the first question, and I'm like, there's a lot to say, so I don't really know what to say. You know, when you don't write about yourself, it's easier to be focused in a way. Yeah.
So when it comes to your music, even more topics that you are now singing about, so which adds up to the big thing that is your character, actually, yeah?
And actually, I have a song on this new album that's about mice. One more.
But it's not called Hugh Jackman, the song, right?
No.
Okay, and okay, so one of the last questions now, and I read the thing about you. When you started doing music and you started to get attention, there was the thing that a major label wanted to sign you, but you refused because you wanted to go your own way. Was that because of something like a basic principle that you're thinking like may not go big and just be small and do your own stuff, or is it something that you might consider for the future, going to a big label?
Well, I mean, it's always it's tempting when the big guys want to play with you, right? But I don't have a principle of not doing it. But on the other hand, I still haven't met someone who is working in the major label thing and being really famous and stuff. You know, everything going big, that aren't. I haven't seen a career where I feel like I could be the one doing that. It's too focused on hits and money, and it's not that I don't want to have a hit or make lots of money. Of course, everyone would. That would be nice if that happened. But I just feel like sometimes when you are too many people with too much power, you can easily get too far away from what the core of things are. And I think in a lot of ways, the team that I have now, I feel like I'm in a good place musically and also people-wise, that I'm around people that I really like and I really have faith in their ability to make things work. So I think it would be, I'm afraid I would get really lonely and get, you know, I'm afraid that I couldn't stay true if all of a sudden there were 25 people wanting me to go somewhere to make some money, you know? Yeah. So if the right circumstances were there, maybe. But I still haven't seen that for anyone.
Okay, so we'll take it like this and wait for what might to come. Okay, last question. Just out of curiosity, going back to your first album, it's called Knees, Feet, and the Parts We Don't Speak Of. And I was wondering, just what are the parts that we're not speaking of, adding to knees and feet? Well,
that's up to you to decide. We don't speak of that.
Okay, so it's everyone's own interpretation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for the interview, and we hope to hear much from you in the future, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.